I was a Virginia tobacco bride. Then I killed my husband. The last thing my husband ever tasted was the poison I slipped into his supper. And as he clawed at his throat, eyes bulging with realization, I didn't flinch, because he deserved it. This wasn't just murder. This was justice for the woman who saved my life, and the man who called her a witch. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, if you've ever craved revenge so deep it burns, hit like right now, subscribe, and let's unravel the story of the Virginia bride who turned the tables permanently. My father didn't see me as a daughter, just another debt to settle. So when the Virginia company offered 6 pounds of tobacco for a tobacco bride, he signed the papers without blinking. No goodbyes, no apologies, just the creak of a ship's hull as I sailed toward a stranger's bed. My husband, a man so pious he crossed himself at the wind, yet so cruel he blamed every hardship on the devil. And when fever ravaged me that first winter, he didn't fetch a doctor. He got on his knees and prayed over my sweating, shivering body like I was just another problem to beg away. Then came Ursula. Her hands were calloused from work, but her touch was gentle. She pressed a bitter tonic to my lips. Drink. This will break the fever on. For the first time in months, I felt cared for, not as a wife, not as property, as a person. But my husband, he didn't see a miracle. He saw witchcraft. No woman heals that fast without serotonin hissed. And when the pastor nodded along, I knew what came next. I made sure the stew was too salty, the bread underbaked. Eat, I urged him, watching his Adam's apple bob as he swallowed. Then, as he praised God for the meal, his fork clattered to the table. The realization in his eyes wasn't fear. It was shock that the quiet, obedient wife he'd bought had outsmarted him. Ursula burst from the hay, straw in her hair. Did it work? She whispered. I didn't answer, just brushed the golden strands from her face and said, what we both knew: while new world is vast. Let's disappear in Ithiel. Call it murder. I call it balance. For every woman burned as a witch, there's another who learned to play with fire. Was it justice, or just revenge? Smash like and argue in the comments, and subscribe, because next week's story, a servant girl who destroyed her nobleman with his own secrets.